stature, and sat his steed with authority. His cloak, emblazoned with the ragged bear and staff, denoted his rank as the Dudley family steward. To anyone else, his granite stare would have inspired trepidation, but I had grown accustomed to his taciturn manner, as he had been overseeing my upkeep since his arrival in the Dudley household 8 years ago. "It fell off about a league back," he extended my cap to me. "Since my days in the Scottish wars, I've never seen anyone sleep so soundly on horseback. You'd think you'd been to London 100 times before." I heard rough mirth in his rebuke. It confirmed my suspicion that he was secretly pleased by this precipitous change in my fortune, though it wasn't in his nature to discuss his personal sentiments regarding anything the Duke or Lady Dudley commanded. "You can't go losing your cap about court," he said as I clapped the red cloth hat back on my head and peered toward where the sun-dappled road climbed over a hill. "A squire must be attentive at all times to his appearance." He eyed me. "My lord and lady expect much of their servants. I trust you can remember how to behave with your betters." "Of course." I squared my shoulders, reciting in my most obsequious tone. "It's best to remain silent whenever possible, and to always keep your eyes lowered when spoken to. If uncertain as to how to address someone, a simple 'my lord' or 'my lady' will suffice." I paused. "See, I haven't forgotten." Master Shelton snorted. "See that you don't. You're to be a squire to his lordship's son, Lord Robert, and I'll not see you squander the opportunity. If you excel in this post, who knows? You could rise to chamberlain or even steward. The Dudleys are known to reward those who serve them well." As soon as he muttered these words, I thought I should have known. When Lady Dudley joined her family year-round at court, she had sent Master Shelton twice a year to the castle, where I remained with a small staff. He came ostensibly to oversee our upkeep, but whereas before my duties had been confined to the stables, he assigned me other household chores and paid me, for the first time, a modest sum. He even took in a local monk to tutor me, one of thousands who begged and bartered their way through England since old King Henry had abolished the monasteries. The staff at Dudley Castle had deemed her ladyship's steward unnatural, a cold and solitary man, unmarried and with no children of his own, but he had shown me unexpected kindness. Now I knew why. He wanted me to be his successor, once old age or infirmity demanded his retirement. It was hardly the role I aspired to, filled as it was with the tiresome domestic obligations that Lady Dudley had neither time nor inclination for, though it was a far better future than someone in my shoes ought to expect. I thought that I'd rather remain a stable hand than become a privileged lackey, dependent on Dudley sufferance. Horses, at least, I understood, whilst the Duke and his wife were strangers to me in every sense of the word. Still, I mustn't appear ungrateful. I bowed my head and murmured, I would be honoured if I were one day deemed worthy of such a post. A cragged smile, all the more startling because of its rarity, lightened Master Shelton's face. "Would you now? I thought as much. Well then, we shall have to see, shan't we?" I smiled in return. Serving as squire to Lord Robert would prove challenge enough, without my worrying over a potential stewardship in the future, though I'd not seen the Duke's third eldest son in years. He and I were close in age, and had lived together during our childhood. In truth, Robert Dudley had been my bane. Even as a boy, he'd been the most handsome and talented of the Dudley brood, favoured in everything he undertook, be it archery, music, or dance. He also nursed an inflated sense of pride in his own superiority, a bully who delighted in leading his brothers in rousing games of thrash the foundling. No matter how hard I tried to hide or how fiercely I struggled when caught, Robert always managed to hunt me down. He directed his walloping gang of brothers to duck me into the scum-coated moat or dangle me over the courtyard well, until my shouts turned to sobs, and my beloved Mistress Alice rushed out to rescue me. I spent the majority of my time scrambling up trees or hiding, terrified in attics. Then Robert